All right, you guys, while Joel goes and gets those helmets, guess who just came out? It is the man of the hour. This is the man who owns this property. This is Howard Dorris. This is my husband's uncle. Thank you for allowing us out here. And these are all your bikes.
And these are all my bikes.
How many bikes do you own?
I don't know, a bunch.
A bunch. Is it like 50, 60?
Actually, I think it was about 57.
57.
And I've given some away.
Why do you love bikes so much?
There were more bikes than girls where I grew up.
So that's why you like them so much?
Yeah.
Oh my God, where'd you grow up?
Orpha, Texas.
Texas, huh?
Tells you how boring that place was.
A bunch of motorcycles. So out of all of these motorcycles, okay, these are all yours, which one is your favorite? And do you want to go over towards it?
The red one right there with the windshield.
That's your favorite.
I bought that in '67.
67. How old were you?
17.
7?
No, I was 17.
What's so special about it?
I bought it brand new. That's what my parents did to keep me in high school, keep me from quitting. They were scared to death I was going to quit. So they talked to me, arranged a loan, and it was the only American motorcycle with electric starter that interested me. Others were big bikes, and they just come out with that. And so I said, this is good. I mean, I could have gotten a Honda or anything. It had to be American.
That's what your parents wanted you to do.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. And I don't think people do that as much these days, worry about the fact that something is American.
Yeah, well, they don't. Because, I mean, there's plenty of good quality stuff, even back then. But because my dad was in the Navy in World War II, he didn't want me to have Japanese or German. And so anyone would work.
Okay, so what's the best thing that's ever happened on that bike that you can tell us?
I went on a trip on it one time with a buddy.
Really? Where'd you go?
Houston to South Carolina, up to Boston, around 12,000 miles on $100. Gas was cheaper. We couldn't pay for places to camp, so we just pull off the side of the road. One night, we got in this place down by a little river, and I kept smelling onions. Next morning, I looked around. We were in an onion field, and we had a big laugh about that. Stole a few onions to cook with our beans.
Really?
We took beans with us.
Jeez. You stole some onions.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay, just a couple. So something interesting about this guy is he's a vegetarian. You've been a vegetarian your whole life, haven't you?
No, since 1975.
In 75?
Yeah,
Vegetarian.
just about as soon as I got out of the Navy. So,
Y'all, we love this guy right here. This is my husband Joel's favorite person in the entire world. He taught him how to do all of the mechanical work that he does. And Joel loves spending time out here. I think he spends more time out here than he does at home.
well, I love it too.
Okay, good.
I do. I love it. When he was growing up, he'd spend weekends with me.
Yeah.
We'd get up at 4:30 in the morning and watch 2 episodes of Leave It to Beaver. Then go down and get a donut, Coke, a root beer and coffee. Drive around until the sun came up, play with motorcycles. That was good stuff. His brother Sunshine, I had too many rules.
Yeah. He didn't hang out as much.
He didn't hang out at all. I said no. He wanted to go where people said yes.
Yeah.
Joel he would take the no for the benefit.
Yeah.
And
It makes him a great husband.
I'm glad it does.
It makes him a fabulous husband.
Yeah.
It does. So there's a lot of people out here, and all of your motorcycles are out here. How does it feel to have all of this out here?
Good. Yeah. I like it. I love the place. We bought this place and couldn't have found anything better. Actually, there are a couple bikes that aren't mine, that are from these other guys. But yeah, I love it. I'm happy you got people that like me.
Everybody here loves you.
Yeah.
And I learned how to ride a motorcycle today.
That's good. Come up.
Well, I'm learning, should I say. You know, Joel's about to come over here in just a second with some helmets so that I can,
But
go a little bit
just
further.
Remember,
What?
leave a lot of room around you. Don't get close behind. Don't let people get close behind you. Keep them off your side. Make sure the brakes work before you take off.
How do you do that?
Test them.
Make sure the brakes work before you take off.
Yeah, you don't want to get on something hauling ass and the brakes not work.
Ooh, that would really suck. So how do you even think about this? This is perfect. This is like Howard's tips. So we're getting Howard's tips of how to ride a motorcycle from old school himself. So check the brakes.
Check the brakes.
What else?
Remember, never ride it further than you want to push it. All roads are shitty and everybody's an asshole. And so if you stay away from all those, keep your eyes on the road, stay away from assholes, you survive.
You know, I can't air that, right?
Well,
Because you said the A word.
Okay. Butthole.
What would you say if somebody said that motorcycles are dangerous?
Well, they're dangerous with dangerous people on them. That's it. You gotta ride. Don't exceed your limitations. If you don't know how to ride, learn.
Okay.
And that's all I can say. It's worked for me. I wrecked one motorcycle, and that was my first one, a Yamaha. I was running down the street, librarian from school passed in front of me. I nailed her. She ran a red light. I mean, the stop sign.
Oh my gosh. Were you, well, obviously you lived, so what injuries did you have?
I didn't I skinned up.
Okay.
Skinned elbows, knees. Went to school all skinned up, and left my motorcycle at a friend's house for a few days till I could come up with a story.
What story did you need?
One that I thought was more survivable than I just ran into. Because who would believe me over the librarian?
Yeah.
And she was good. She came by that evening and apologized. My mother wondered, who is this lady? Why is she apologizing? She explained it all. She just had been driving that for 25 or 30 years, and nobody was ever there before.
Wow.
And of course, I didn't have a license. I was 14 years old, or maybe younger, 13. So that's why. I mean, even though at that time in Texas, if you had a bike that was less than 5 horsepower, you didn't have to have a license.
Really?
Yeah.
And you could ride on the roads?
You could ride on the road.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
And you know, a lot of European countries are like that. That's why all the mopeds, the kids get mopeds, and that's what they learn to ride. They love them, and they continued. The adults like them.
Yeah.
So I think, and you have to have it insured. But of course, I didn't know anything about insurance.
Well, you were 13.
I was 13.
13.
I barely able to know something.
Yeah. So, All right, so Joel is teaching me how to ride a bike, and it is incredibly difficult. I am having a super duper hard time. Do you think I can learn?
Absolutely. Anybody can learn. You don't need brakes.
You don't?
No. And I'll teach people to ride and never pick their feet up off the ground. Just to roll it on, throttle on. This makes it go. This makes it stop.
Okay.
This makes it go. This makes it stop. And then walk it around. Keep your feet on the ground. Walk it around the yard 2 or 3 times. And you go 4 or 5 feet, you back it off and stop. And that one's got a clutch, so it also, you get to include the clutch action. You ride it around, or walk it around, and then you ease it, pick your feet up, and go ahead a few feet, back it off. But that makes it stop. Brakes don't make you stop. No throttle makes you stop.
How many people have you taught to ride motorcycles?
A lot.
I think so. Well, good.
And,
I'm glad I can learn.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm beginning to feel like I can't because it's a lot.
Well, and it's new to you. It does seem like a lot, especially you throw the gear shifting and the clutch. You know, that makes it seem harder. I've got one back there, the Tomos that I was letting Micah ride. That'd be a better trainer. Doesn't have a clutch. You don't have to shift gears.
Is that the one that looks like the refrigerator?
No, that's a Cushman.
You knew what I was talking about. Oh
I
my
had to
God.
think about that.
That was funny. That is so funny. Oh, well, here comes Joel. He's coming with the helmets. Give me a big old hug.
That's the Tomos.
Okay, I'm gonna go check that out in a little while. Give me a big old hug. Oh, I just adore you.